All right, here we go with another set of our DLP videos. This one is going to cover 4 of these screens right here, 9 through 12 if you are renumbering for the second set, or 45 through 48 if you're numbering consistently and consecutively with the ones that we had last time on our first set. So here we go, either number 45 or number 9, however you're numbering them. By the late 1700s, the Enlightenment, with its emphasis on reason and classical studies, had run its course. And here we have a comma splice, so period in a new sentence or a semicolon. A new artistic movement had arisen, is the correct verb form there. Proponents of Romanticism ask why people shouldn't experience the world through the heart instead of the mind. It's called an indirect question, and we end those with a period rather than a question mark. Romantics cheered the French Revolution, which began on July 14, 1789, and change Europe's political landscape forever. Most people are used to putting the comma right here, but if there are more words following after the year, we also put one there. That revolution, dashes or commas would work, bloody and destructive, would improve the lives of common people, and then a comma right here, a concern of the Romantics. Entirely different than, it's better grammar to say different from. So entirely different from the poetic style it replaced, Romanticism's spontaneity and excess, so you have 2 things, it's plural, were legendary. Now look at this next one. This is an interesting one. In this one, we have items in a series that usually have commas between them, but some of our items in the series have commas already. So to make the break bigger between the categories, we use semicolons. So let's take a look at the categories. Category number 1. The Romantics were interested in local history, folktales, and legends. You can tell it's a category because the word "and," with that item in the series there. Now you're ready for another category, so you need a semicolon after legends. Here's category 2. The mysterious, the imaginative, and the supernatural. Semicolon. Now category 3, and any new form of expression. So if you have items in a series, even if one of those items has a comma in it, you have to use semicolons between the other parts to show where the bigger breaks are. Okay? Next one, Romanticism stresses individual freedom. There's a fused or run-on sentence there. You need a semicolon or start a new sentence. The romantic hero often becomes a rebel or outlaw, rejecting restrictive social conventions. Again, that's not horrible, but you think about the hero. The hero starts rejecting aspects of society, and then society labels him an outlaw. So that rejecting probably should go close to the word hero instead of outlaw. Romanticism stresses individual freedom, semicolon. Rejecting restrictive social conventions, comma, the romantic hero often becomes a rebel or outlaw. That will get everything in order. Okay? And then the next one, we just have some quotation marks to put in. So open quote, man is born free, comma, close quote. The romantic philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau wrote, comma, open quote, and everywhere he is in chains, period, close quote. For William Wordsworth, poetry was an imaginative way. No reason to say for him if you've already said for William Wordsworth, so omit that. To express emotions that had come from his personal experiences. In an 1802 preface to Lyrical Ballads, comma, Samuel Taylor Coleridge and he, not him, outlined ideas that are now identified with Romanticism. Wordsworth's personality, dash, to say nothing of his poetry, dash, was shaped by nature. We don't use many dashes in essay writing, but that would be a good example of where one is appropriate. The human mind was his primary interest. Here's a fused or run-on sentence. So semicolon after interest. However, comma, his poems illustrate how the imagination may create spiritual values, we don't need 3 prepositions, from nature's sights and sounds. And then our last screen, here we go for this set. When Wordsworth revisited Tintern Abbey, capitalized Abbey, after 5 years, it looking so different, that should be different from, what he remembered puzzled him. But look at this word it. Now this is going to seem strange to you, but we have a rule in grammar called possessive case before a gerund. It's looking so different. ITS is appropriate right here. Fragment. Struck by the discrepancy between memory and perception, comma, Wordsworth meditated on his past, present, and future. That's just a participial phrase that they left standing alone, and it should be joined to your main sentence with a comma. At Tintern Abbey, Wordsworth sensed that this world would never really be intelligible, comma, before the coordinated conjunction for both he, subject case, nominative case pronoun, he and his perceptions were constantly changing. Nevertheless, using nature as a guide, Wordsworth sought to see into the life of things, comma, close quote, an unchanging underlying world of things in themselves, not their selves. Okay? So that concludes this particular set.